Live. Welcome, Bharat Mitra. This is really, I've been looking forward all week to talking to you. This is totally awesome. And I really love to start this gathering, this meeting, by just giving a little summary for people who don't know about what you've created with Organic India. It's really quite, I would say it's in the realm of a miracle. It's a very impressive thing that you've done. So tell us a little bit about how this started and what you've accomplished so far.
First, really happy to be with you this morning and with everybody. And I've been also looking forward to our time together. And I just recognize the possibility to talk with you and to be direct and truthful. And so I'm going to use this opportunity, Arjuna, to share what's on my heart in the most truthful way. And the first thing, I don't feel that I accomplished anything. And everything that is happening in Organic India is a beautiful reflection of emergence, which come not as a result of doing, but as a result of resting in beingness, allowing whatever it is that needs to happen to happen. And in this way, I'm totally free from any sense of accomplishment or doership. And I think this is the core reason why Organic India can be as miraculous as it is. Secondly, Organic India is a company that started with a very clear intention and vision to be a vehicle for consciousness. It's actually started where Papaji, my guru, one day told me to start a private limited company. I said, yes, Papaji. I waited until he left the room and asked my friend what private limited company was, because honestly I had no idea. I had no background, education, or past experience in running companies or having a business. And the only thing that I knew about this company is that it meant to be a vehicle for consciousness. And that has been, is, and will always be like the guiding force of Organic India. And as a vehicle of consciousness, we operate in the corporate world, in the business world, totally connected to the fundamental truth of interconnectedness and oneness. So success is not being measured just by financial, but by the overall impact that a company have on each and every one in the chain, starting with Mother Nature, Mother Earth, the farmers, the community, employees, executives, distributors, consumers. We're all part of the same ecosystem, and everyone is contributing and benefiting, and nobody is being exploited. Organic India has instigated and has been a source of inspiration for the whole organic movement in India, which is including today hundreds of thousands of farmers. We are working directly with thousands of farms and producing, according to Indian wisdom, integrated with the latest science, lines of herbal medicine, herbal teas, spices, and food, which is being exported. First, it's being sold all over India, but then it's being exported to 40 countries. And honestly, each product of Organic India is an invitation for consumers to receive gifts of well-being and health, and at the same time be part and actively contribute and participate in a holistic modality that integrates oneness in action, that brings together vision and consciousness with practical application and execution.
So, you know, I want to jump in for a minute. And by the way, I just want to welcome my son, Abhimanyu, who is studying holistic health, or at least his own permutation thereof at San Francisco State University, and going on to become a naturopathic doctor. This kind of conversation is really of vital interest to him. So welcome, Abhi.
Hello.
So Abhi will
Abhi, great to see you.
You too.
Really great to see you. Beautiful young man.
So Abhi will be.
It's very Arjuna. Just sorry, but I can't tell you what a joy it is to see this upcoming generation really waking up to and participating and actively exploring and searching alternative ways to the current systems, which are more connected with who we are. And whenever I see your generation really embracing the responsibility of finding new pathways of living on the planet, it's just very inspiring and encouraging, and it's lovely to have you on the conversation today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, beautiful. Abhi, you know, let's just jam on that for a minute, because I think Bharat Mitra has made a really good point, you know, that it's your generation that is inheriting the planet now. So why don't you just give us a quick kind of overview of what are your core values? You know, what is it that's made you chose the degree that you've chosen, and that's made you choose the lifestyle you've chosen and the kind of work you've chosen? Tell us a little bit about what really is important for you at this time in the planet.
Well, what I mostly focus on is, I guess, in the biggest sense, just health. And what I mean by that is basically on the what we put into our bodies and what we put out of our bodies, in the sense of what we talk, what we say, how we talk to ourselves, and how we think about what's going on around us, and then how that then goes to the next person around us, and then going to what we put into our bodies in the sense of food, water, and also what we consume in the sense of electronics and technology and different things like that. These are all things that are coming into us that are affecting us, and then how we then perceive these and send them out again. So I find that that's definitely the underlying of what the very simplest form of what I've very much been intrigued by. And the way I've been doing that is a lot of, I mean, self-experimentation as your best tool. All of us are individuals, we all have different ways we're going to react to every little thing. So you're going to be your best tool to find out what actually works for you. No one's going to be able to tell you, use this, and that's in the sense of you can use, like, everyone in the world should do this, because everyone's going to be growing up from different ways, have different kind of lifestyles. So it's kind of just practicing on myself for tons of different things. And again, I know these are not going to work for everyone, but I've tried so many different things that I'm able to give examples to different people and tell them what they might be able to try.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I think there's a really kind of important quality in this dialogue we're having of passing the baton, you know, because Bharat Mitra, you and I, you know, we were hanging out together in India, I don't know, 30 years ago, 25 years ago. I don't know even how long it is now. But whatever we can create together through your work with Organic India, you know, me writing books and stuff, whatever we can create together, we're actually dedicating it to Gopi and Abhi. You know, we're dedicating it to the next generation who will actually pick up whatever we can hand over to them. So it's a beautiful thing that Abhi can be part of this dialogue with us. What I wanted to loop back to, Bharat Mitra, is, you know, the language you've used so far in describing Organic India is beautiful language that I can totally relate to and celebrate. Language of oneness and a vehicle of consciousness, and all of the way you speak and being available for what needs to happen. You know, the thing that most business people will object to with that language is, yeah, but you guys don't make money talking like that. But you actually do make money. So tell us a little bit in hard and fast terms, you know, like, what have you accomplished? You know, you've told me it's thousands of farms, hundreds of thousands of farmers, but what is really unusual about the style of business you're engaged in is that it's actually hugely profitable. And I know has caused many business leaders to take note and to want to learn from you.
So I would say that first, I'm really grateful for this question. I think it's a really great one because we all have this cultural belief as if beingness and vehicle of consciousness is in some way contradicting being productive and professional and engaged in a very intelligent way with the world. Well, it is not. In fact, Organic India is a beautiful demonstration. If I have to say what is like the biggest accomplishment of Organic India, yes, I can point out to an incredibly impressive balance sheet. I can point out to a company that over the last 5 years growing at a rate which is unprecedented. I can point out to many things that are being measured in the corporate world as success, but I think that the biggest accomplishment of Organic India is the living example of a business which is highly profitable while remaining absolutely connected to the real core purpose of having a business, which is to add value to our life. Business cannot be only about money, and if it is, it is my experience that there is very little fulfillment there. Even if you're successful, you're still not fulfilled. Money provides us with great physical comfort, which I'm very much in favor of. But happiness and fulfillment come from connection to purpose. Come to fulfilling your purpose for which you're here in the most natural, effortless, joyful way. And businesses, which is a group of people gathering together, if it's just around money, it's missing the opportunity, the invitation to co-create together something which also provides joy and happiness and wellness. And just like what you said before, I want to look at the eyes of my daughter with the peace, knowing that I'm doing and participating in the world in a way that will allow her to grow her kids.
I think we lost you there for a moment. It looks like this.
Are we back? Are we back?
We're back now, yes.
Yeah, you're cutting in out a little bit. I'm not quite sure why. Yeah, we're good. We're here.
Okay, so I think that the biggest accomplishment of Organic India is removing...
We lost...
Let me know when it's back.
We can hear you.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Arjuna, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, we hear you good. I'm just gonna you continue. You guys continue. I'll just be 1 minute. I'm just gonna go and eliminate something that will help.
Okay. So until he comes, until Arjuna is coming back, Abhimanyu,
I mean, yeah, what you were saying with passion, and that comes with money. I mean, if you find what you're passionate about, money is going to come on after that because it's something that people are going to see that you have a gift. People are going to see that you have something that you're passionate about and something that's worth sharing. And if you have something worth sharing, then you have something that's worth money. I mean, something that someone's going to want to trade for your passion. And it's all going to start with that. I mean, it's all going to start from your passion, which is going to build.
I'm really loving hearing you, because it is like the commitment to your core vision and values that money will come as a byproduct, but it cannot be.
It's a trading tool.
One has to be really clear within oneself which is the force that you're following. You cannot follow two forces at the same time. And if your prime interest is to produce money, And within this, you're trying to be as ethical and as conscious as you can possibly be, but still this is your prime motivation. There will always be a compromise that will not provide you with the full experience of really operating in the world, connected to purpose and free to be in a way that it's fulfilling and effortless. On the other hand, if your true commitment is to express your core values, the truth of your heart in your activities, there will be times that it might appear to be challenging on the money front, but if you're willing to take the risk and stay true to your original calling, I have no doubt, and it is my experience in various ventures, that money comes as a byproduct, and often it comes in a much, much bigger way. So I really feel that the biggest accomplishment of Organic India is removing the illusion of separation between consciousness and profit. Like we can live consciously, totally connected to our deepest longing of our heart. We can totally rest in beingness, acting from beingness, and at the same time be even more intelligent and productive than when we are operating from greed and thinking and pretending to be in control.
Beautiful. You know, it's just, it's so, it's beyond words. Incredible to hear how you're speaking, because you're speaking not theoretically. You're speaking from the perspective of actually living like this and producing powerful results for your farmers, for people using your products. You're speaking from experience, which has an enormous credibility to it. So I want to ask you for a minute, you know, I know that you and I, well, all three of us and everybody we know, we all care deeply about a sustainable, conscious, intelligent, loving world. And some people might say, well, you know, the forces that are going to change the world are governments. But I think many of us have realized that the forces that really control how we treat this planet are more like big organizations than governments. So I know you've had some experience of this already with Government of India. I know you were recently meeting with a CEO of one of the world's largest corporations. So what is it going to take to shift consciousness around business in big organizations in the way that you're describing? Because that, in my opinion, is the very foundation of a new world. When big companies start to understand that consciousness and fulfillment and vision is fundamental, and profit is something like breathing. You know, it's important, but you can't make your whole life about it. It's a byproduct of a well-lived life.
Beautiful. And I think that the thing to remember that big organizations are made of people. It starts with each and every one of us. There is nothing like a big organization, and it's all kind of people. And I feel that each one have the same longing. We're all, each one of us. Some of us may be confused. Some of us are more awake and connected to who we are, and free to be and live free of agendas and concepts and conditioning. But deep down, I never met anyone who doesn't want to be happy, well, loving, loved. It's like it's common to all of us. So I feel that there is a very deep cultural belief and conditioning that all of us brought up in the society that we and the culture that we're a part of, that if you need to be successful in the world, you need to live according to the current systems and rules and laws. And the best way to bring about a change is to find out within yourself like a new way of being. Like
Yeah.
when we are operating not from doing, when we're operating from beingness.
Yeah.
And when you do, it's have a tremendous ripple effect on everyone that you're going to come across. And it's not that you're having an agenda to go and change anybody. You're just being who you are, and those who resonate with what it is that's radiating out of you are attracted. And I feel that there are so many right now on the planet which are totally switched on and awake to really exploring an alternative way of being that brings joy and happiness and connects to who they are.
You know, it's just music to my ears, I can't tell you, because I mean, I spend my whole life at the moment working with people who are in a position to make a big difference to the world, people who are have senior positions in big organizations. I work with people in Hollywood and policymakers in Washington, D.C., but what they're looking for, when I coach people to shift their consciousness, what they're looking for is the answer to the question, can I shift consciousness and still be productive? Can I still shift consciousness and still satisfy the obligation I have to my investors? And really, you are one of the few walking proofs I know on the planet that you can, not only you can have both, but one becomes the foundation of the other. What you're talking about is that living from expansive consciousness, living from a sense of connection with your true nature and with what the force that gives us life, that is actually the foundation for a business to work well and freely and effortlessly. And there are actually relatively few examples on the planet of this kind of 200% living. So it's extremely exciting and inspiring and encouraging. Having somebody like you willing to talk in this way, who's got the figures and the accomplishments behind them, actually opens the gateway for all kinds of other people to come out of the closet and to put their deepest longing first, and to get their priorities back into the same order that their heart has.
And I experience it often. I experience that just by being and just by sharing naturally, because it's the nature of the phenomena is just to share itself. It's not like a personal agenda of trying to change anyone, but in being who I am, there is an invitation to explore a way of being where you're still pragmatic and addressing successfully your physical existence without being disconnected from our spiritual beingness.
Right.
And I think that often we associate spiritual beingness with people which are disengaged with the world, as if in order to rest in spaciousness and explore peace, and one have to go to the mountains, one have to go to ashrams, one do it in the yoga class, but then when you operate in the world, you have to become the doer, and you have to really operate from the same old program and conditionings and old rules, which really doesn't serve us as humanity, inflict tremendous suffering and pain on the planet, and most importantly, preventing each one of us from living fully our birthright of participating joyfully in this incredible lifetime that we have, and with happiness and peace and celebration and connection. So there is no conflict between having a healthy body. I'm all in favor of having a healthy body. In terms of organization, I think that it's like really vital to take care of the pragmatics, of the execution, of operations. It's just done a million times better when you're not disconnecting yourself from the source of intelligence that we're all expression of. When you have a group of people aligning a vision that is not just about making money, where there is a greater vision that is connecting us, the level of innovation, of dedication, of intelligence, where the collective gifts of all of us are available for consciousness to reveal new solutions which are way beyond what one can come up with thinking and with the mind. So being free to operate from beingness, it's a discovery that once you trust your own ability to act without knowing, rest in not knowing, you cannot always figure out with your mind the implications of all your actions and how it's going to result. Yet, from connection, there is a certainty. There is like a very profound clarity what needs to happen, out of which the greatest surprises and the greatest solutions appear from. This is my experience.
Beautiful. Tell us a little bit. I know that you have you've been in dialogue with other leaders. I know you've been in dialogue with people in India. You've also been in dialogue with leaders of other businesses. Can you tell us something about that conversation? You know, how you've been able to pass on some of your way of being with this in a way that could be duplicated.
Yes, we from the beginning and all the way through, Organic India has been a platform of collaboration. Organic India is not something. I mean, you still asking the question, and I understand it, like what I managed to accomplish and how I managed to pass, and how it's honestly very little to do with me. And I'm a really humble servant of a vision that is much bigger than me, much bigger than all of us together. I'm very grateful to be in service of this vision, and fully aware to the fact that there are so many which are making it possible. And one of the misconceptions which are prevailing in the current system of the corporate world is competition. If I'm working in a certain field and you're working in a certain field, it's very natural to believe that we are competing on the same market share, and therefore we are competing with each other, and which honestly result in waste of resources and energy and creativity. And it's based on, as I said, just a misconception. Because if we work together, often we can grow the category so much bigger, and everybody has more. It's just like a very, very simple reality. And when I'm discussing with other companies, I always feel that we have a certain gift. I see certain gift in other companies, and I know that if we put the two together, the synergies and possibilities that opening up for us are much bigger than each one of us on his own. So we are right now in discussion it's a bit early stages, and I wouldn't like to possibly embarrass them. So but we're with a discussion with the biggest soft drink company, one of the biggest, if not the biggest soft drink companies on the planet, and I will say no more. and to create a partnership utilizing their huge, unbelievable global infrastructure of manufacturing and distribution, to connect this with the values and the story of organic India. And what can happen as a result is that we can create a soft drink, ready to drink Tulsi tea, bring the benefit, the health benefit of Tulsi to millions of people around the world. And in order to do that, we can transform hundreds of thousands, if not millions of acres of chemically abused agriculture into a sustainable, biodynamic, thriving agriculture, taking care of millions of farmers and their community, to create a model which is the model of organic India, by which we are caring with devotion for Mother Nature. We are caring for the farmers and their communities, the people who are producing our foods. The company and all employees, which are all shareholders, are benefiting, and we are providing customers all over the world with a product which is based on Indian ancient wisdom, produced with the love of nature and the farmers, to support their well-beings and their families. And by buying those products, they get to participate and be part of this chain of interconnectedness, which include land, farmers, employees, distributors, consumers. So I feel a great receptivity and openness in big corporations and in big companies right now to engage with exploring actively and participating in business models which are holistically caring for the environment and for society, because they see that by doing so, they don't have to sacrifice profit. In fact, it's providing them with a pathway forward which creates sustainable profit, because it is not based on exploitation, and it's bring a lot of value to the whole ecosystem.
Beautiful. You know, I'm not going to say the name of the soft drink company, but I was, after we talked last time, I went to bed and I was talking to Shamali, my wife, and I was telling her a little bit about some of your news. And when I mentioned a large multinational corporation, immediately she said, "Oh, no, 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 you know, tell him not to do that. He's going to become evil. He'll get swallowed up by the evil empire." And I think that is the thinking that is very, very prevalent, particularly among, you know, what could you say, alternative, caring people, is that big corporations are profoundly evil. And people believe that about banking, about big pharma, about Monsanto, about big food companies like Nestle, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all of these companies. So, I'm
as one with Papaji, and as I am with all the pharmaceutical and Monsanto and the banking and everyone. And it's not, it's just the nature of oneness. As long as we are playing the us and them game, as long as we're not really embracing oneness in its entirety, I think that it's the same consciousness. I meet some people with great intentions and a lot of dedication to bring about a great change on the planet, but the consciousness that they operate from, it's the same consciousness as Monsanto, as the banking, as the pharma. It's from separation, it's delusion of separation. You think that you're separated from Monsanto, you think that anybody is separate from banking. We're all co-creating the reality that we share any given moment, and we're all part of it. It doesn't matter where you place yourself in your mind. So for me, I hear it a lot. You know, when I interact with companies, and I love to interact with a lot of big multinationals, because I feel that this is part of my passion and purpose, is to share the truth of oneness with those who need it the most. There is no point of just preaching to the choir. There is a great beauty that happens when people with very different point of view are meeting and can share and possibly open up different possibilities like in each other to see things from different perspectives. I really feel that if we are to evolve on the planet, it's not by what we do, it's by who we are. And it has to be inclusive. And I enjoy a lot seeing the honest interest in big companies to explore actively how they can be part of a creative solution for a sustainable, conscious future like on the planet. But if we are to exclude all the banking and all the pharma and all the Monsantos and all the Coca-Colas and all the Pepsis and all the Nestles, you know, it's just going to be few hippies sitting in wherever they sit and talking about a better world that's never going to happen.
It's true. It's
so I appreciate very much like the view of your wife, and I can relate to it. But at the same time, you know, we're right now in a position of strength where the agreement that we create really allow us to protect the integrity of the vision. I never sell out. I never put myself in a position that due to potential profit, I'm in a position where I'm not able to protect like the essence of the mission and what we are here for. Beautiful. And what I see is really that it's the big companies are really interested in embracing values because they see that there is no contradiction between being value-based and at the same time being pragmatic, being grounded, being profitable, being professional. I think that the arrogance is our main hindrance for a conscious, sustainable world. And the arrogance, on one hand, is of, you can say, cooperation and money, where only money matters. But you have equal arrogance among spiritual and activist people, as if we are so much better, as if we don't have to engage with, you know, like with worldly affair to keep our kind of like pure space of untouched whatever. Neither of them, each one is arrogant in his own way. It's only when we have the courage to embrace our totality. It's only when we don't look at the world and we separate. Yeah, I'm one with Greenpeace, but I'm not one with Monsanto. Sorry to tell you, you're one with everything. That's reality check.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful and it's true. So let's get a little bit pragmatic here. You know, this is a question that I can put to immediate good use because I work each and every day with people who are who have big decisions to make in the world. So what would you feel are some good first steps? You know, if somebody is caught in the old way of doing business, which is often driven a lot by primarily being answerable to shareholders, deadlines, you know, which is often stressful. If someone's caught in the old way of doing business and they like listening to what you're speaking about, and I really appreciate how you described your company as collaborative rather than hierarchical. If somebody wanted to make some first steps, what would they be? You know, and that could be a question we could answer for somebody who owns a business privately, so they have a lot of control, or for somebody somewhere in the various echelons of middle management wanting to know what are some first steps I can take to turn my organization into something that becomes part of the solution instead of part of the problem.
I we have to be honest and say, first, I don't know. I think that each situation requires, there is no formula. But what I would say is stop. Just give yourself the opportunity to just like stop and inquire within yourself what is like the deepest longing of your heart. Because what I find is that many people in power position or high position in small, medium, and big organizations are often incredibly talented, great people, including banking and Monsanto and Nestle and whichever other evil corporation that we might want to imagine. It's full of incredibly great people. Many of them are highly talented, successful. They finished high school, they went to college, they've been programmed in a certain way that the whole of society is actually worshiping those successful people, and they are in this track, often more successful than others because they have qualities of dedication, of innovation, of creativity, but they never had a moment to stop and inquire within themselves if the track that they are on, does it really fulfill them? Does it really resonate with the purpose for which they are here? Does it really provide them with happiness and joy and peace? Is it important? Maybe it's not, and then continue to do whatever it is that you do. But I don't think, as long as we are focused on doing what it is that I can do, you can't do anything. Let's start there. You cannot do anything. All you're able to do is just like to repeat the same stupid programs which are there since time immemorial. Different shape of it. Everyone might construct something a bit different, but I don't feel that anybody can really do anything transformative unless they transform something within themselves. Unless they didn't discover authentically the freedom to act from beingness, from not knowing, from being present, then one becomes actually choiceless. Because the joy and the productive and the intelligent nature of beingness is so superior, is so fulfilling, it's so joyful, it's so intelligent. Why would you go back?
Yeah.
But if you are still from the same frame of mind of doing, say, okay, so I listen to this Bharat Mitra guy, it sounds like really, what can I do? Don't do anything. Just stop. Just discover what is really important, what is really alive in your heart. And through connecting to that, the revelation of what needs to happen in your own environment will be very obvious.
Yeah.
But let's not fall into the trap of doership, but let's not fall into the trap as if there is a formula like how to do things.
It's a beautiful answer. Yeah, it's a great answer. As a matter of fact, I just started a coaching relationship recently with someone who's part of one of the world's biggest technology companies, which I will also not say the name, and he has the possibility to really innovate something huge. And so I suggested to him the first step was to spend 5 days alone. So he's going to be by himself. I said, don't take any technology with you. Leave your cell phone, leave your computer. Just be with yourself for 5 days. And of course, he's never done that. Most people have never done that in their lives, you know. But what I've noticed again and again, if someone takes ideally 5 days, it's a long time. If someone can take 5 days, almost without exception, a powerful vision will come to them, which is enough. The vision is strong enough that they absolutely all doubt is gone. They know why they're here and what they have to do next. So it's a beautiful answer I can really absolutely resonate with. So tell us a little bit what's happening in India. I know that you are not only working with Organic India, but you've been in discussion with the government of India about shifts in policy. So what can you tell us about that?
Well, there is a new government in India which is very committed to explore practical ways of developing India in a way which is true to the Indian heritage and wisdom. And at the same time, they're taking very seriously, obviously, the responsibility to provide food to 1.3 billion people and keep on the economic progress such that that everybody is taken care of. And I think that one of the
Oh, we lost him. So while we're waiting for him to come back, what are your thoughts, Abby?
On
Hmm?
on what?
On what you're hearing. It's just you and me, so we can reflect a little bit on what we're hearing.
Good stuff.
Well, we're live broadcasting now, so it's up to you and me to say something intelligent right now. So when you hear what's happening with Bharat Mitra and Organic India, how do you see that as a possible template for your generation?
Well, I mean, just the fact that he's able to have all that going on in India, I mean, it kind of shows that we are pretty far behind in that here in the States, and that how we can be able to, we should be able to do the same thing right here, right now. And one thing you were saying earlier is that it's up to bigger organizations instead of the government. It's up to bigger organizations to make a lot of the change.
Arjuna?
Yeah, yeah, good. It's good to see you back. Abby's just going to finish his thoughts, and then we'll be back to you.
On top of just bigger organizations for the what I was saying is that so I can fill you in, is that what my dad was talking about earlier a while back was saying that it's not just up to the government to make a lot of the big changes. It's up to bigger organizations as yours to make some of the bigger changes. On top of that, it's up to the individuals who have the biggest influence, more than big organizations do, because bigger organizations are really just a collection of individuals. But the biggest collection of individuals is, I mean, every single individual. We are voting on what we want with every purchase we buy, with everything we do. So if we want more organics and more better quality things, we need to go out and just simply buy them. And that's showing companies and organizations like your own that these are things that are actually people actually want. And that's how these things grow.
And what I would just like to add to that, Abhimanyu, because I really love what you're saying, is that it doesn't have to be like a decision.
Right.
It's the choices that you're making naturally from being connected. So there are a lot of movement which is like localized. There are many movements and they're all good ideas, but as long as we are focusing on what we do, nothing significant, in my perception, is going to change. And when we speak about people with big power to change things, like I meet a lot of CEOs of the biggest companies in the world. Very few of them have very little presence. I don't believe that any one of them is in any position to do anything. It's just like their position is in power to do anything. In a way, it looks like, but like not really. You're in a position to be a vehicle for change where you're connected to a force, to an intelligence, where you're free to express, where you're not on the way, where your ideas and concepts and agendas are not interfering with the natural flow of intelligence that we're all actually connected to. So as far as I'm concerned, one of the people that have made the biggest difference on the planet is Ramana Maharishi. He just went to sit quietly in a mountain in south of India in a cave 14 years in silence. He was not involved in doing anything, and he influenced lives of tens of millions of people and hundreds of millions to come by his profound revelation of beingness. So the most important thing is not to fall into the trap of what it is that we are doing, is to always engage with the most important quality of who we are, out of which some meant to take some action, some meant to take other action, some may be meant to be quiet. It's all It's all equally beautiful as long as we are connected like to the source of who we are and discovering the freedom to act in the world out of this space of beingness, where naturally and effortlessly you will make all the right choices. You're never going to buy the wrong food. You're never going to support the wrong companies. You're never going to support the opposite. You're going to be a source of inspiration, not because you do the right thing, but because of who you are. And this is like the most authentic and the most powerful and the most real and the only transformative force that I know of is the force of love and truth.
Hey, Bharat, we're getting towards the top of the hour here. I wanted to also take a little time. I know that you've accomplished incredible things with Organic India. I wanted to take a little time and also talk about the festival that you're organizing that's coming up in December. I know that it's a live event, but I believe that people have the opportunity to participate also online. Is that right? It's also streaming. So tell us a little bit about the Uplift Festival and who are the speakers this year.
Uplift Festival is a real spontaneous gathering of some of the most innovative, brilliant, dedicated, creative, conscious forces from many different walks of life and from many different countries, which discover and acknowledge that each one on his own can accomplish some, but there is something much greater that we can co-create when we come together and join our forces. So Uplift started as an invitation for some people that we recognize as being conscious leaders in various fields to come into a circle where we leave our agendas and ideas and concepts outside the circle and participating in discovering and exploring how the collective gifts and skills and capabilities of all of us can be in service of consciousness to reveal an emergence which none of us can comprehend or conceive like in advance. And what was a one-off event turned into a beautiful, thriving global movement, an ever-growing community of people which are called to participate in many, many different projects and many different ventures where the willingness to participate in a co-creative process is allowing fresh ideas to reveal. So we have a beautiful festival in December in Byron Bay. We have beautiful people from many different walks of life coming together really to celebrate the ever-growing family of love and consciousness coming together to co-create a wave of consciousness and of light, and to infuse the collective consciousness with a new way of acting from beingness and from lightness and from fun. So there is a beautiful website, www.upliftconnect.com, www.upliftconnect.com. There is a lot of original, inspiring content and presentation from previous years. And on this website, the gathering from the 11th through the 15th of December will be broadcast live free of charge to everyone that want to join us and create a really cohesive moment, global cohesive moment of the ever-growing family of love and consciousness coming together to celebrate our true nature and support each other in whatever it is that we do.
Beautiful.
And I'm so excited that you're going to come, and I'm so excited that you're going to come physically next year. It's just really awesome.
I'm totally excited. I'm sure Abby will be interested in coming too. So who are your speakers this year? For the people who want to join you, it's great that it's available free streaming. That's awesome. Who are some of the people that will be speaking?
First, I'm really bad at remembering names, and I don't want to say names and forget others. So I'm just going to say a few that come from top of my head without disrespect for all of those that I don't mention.
Okay.
But Bruce Lipton is coming, and Barbara Marx Hubbard is coming, and Jack Eisenstein is coming, and John Borisenko is coming, and Scarlett, which I forgot her second name, is coming. Choose Love Foundation is coming. We have some of the most incredible elders from very remote tribes of Native Americans that feel the call to come. It's a very special council of authentic elders from different cultures in South America that are coming. Grandma Agnes is coming. And so many more.
Well, you've already made it sound irresistible, so that's okay. It's beautiful, and I'm super excited to be joining you like this, and I'm super excited to be joining you next year. I've never been to Australia, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
I really can't wait to have you. There's some few, Dr. Caldicott, Mark Cohen, Dr. Arjuna from India is coming. There are really incredible gathering of some bright, creative, innovative people in various fields. Sadhviji, Bhagwati Sadhviji from Parmat Niketan Ashram is coming. And I really invite everyone to join a very, very unique and special gathering, again, free of charge, for all of us to participate and to be inspired and potentially discover synergies and contribution that each one of us can make, so we are co-creating the reality which is resonating with our true nature and with our hearts. So welcome to everyone.
Beautiful, beautiful. You know, that there's a part of me wants to say, like, you know, thank you and congratulations and everything, but I know at the same time that you recognize that it's not really a personal doing that's involved here. So maybe we should just say, glory be to the force that gives us life. You know, big, huge gratitude to the invisible force that allows us to be servants to something we cannot see or hear, but which we are eternally in gratitude to. So it's a wonderful time to be alive. You know, I know that many people are concerned about different challenges we face, but this possibility of bringing our creativity together, of freeing consciousness in a way that, or allowing consciousness to reveal itself in a way that it can fully give its gift into the world today. It's the best time ever to be alive on planet Earth, and I'm just so blessed and excited to have friends all over the planet like you, who are being moved by this force of blessing and collaboration and humor. So thank you so much for spending this hour with us. Thank you, Abhimanyu, for representing the generation to come so beautifully.
Thank you.
So, Bharat, Mitra, we will see each other again soon. I'm looking forward to Uplift Online at very least. And we love you, brother.
Thank you so much. It's been great joy to be with everyone, great joy to be with you, and blessing be. Thank you.
See you soon.